Part 1. Karma Explained. It's not what you think. Have you ever heard someone say, "That's just their karma," as if it's some kind of cosmic punishment? Or maybe you've thought, "I must have bad karma after a run of bad luck." We often get karma wrong. It's not destiny. It's not a reward or punishment system run by some higher power. What is karma really? Karma, at its heart, is the law of cause and effect. Every action, every thought, every word you speak creates a corresponding result. Think of it like planting seeds. Plant a seed of kindness, a good seed, and you're more likely to experience kindness in return. Plant a seed of anger, a less wholesome seed, and you're more likely to experience negativity. It's not about instant results. Sometimes the fruit of your actions ripens quickly. Sometimes it takes time. The key is the intention behind the action. This is where sadhana comes in. Sadhana is often translated as intention. But it's more than that. It's the volitional impulse, the mental force that drives your action. Let's make it real. Imagine two people giving money to someone experiencing homelessness. One person does it out of genuine compassion, wanting to ease their suffering. The other person does it to show off, to get praise on social media. The action is the same, giving money. But the sadhana, the intention, is completely different. The first is like a compass pointing towards kindness. The second is like a compass pointing towards self-promotion. Which compass do you think will lead to a more fulfilling life? I remember once I had a habit of constantly complaining. I didn't realize it at first, but the intention behind my complaints was often to get attention or sympathy. When I became aware of that underlying intention, I could start to shift it. I started focusing on finding solutions instead of just dwelling on problems. It wasn't easy, but it made a big difference. Your intention is like the rudder of a ship. It steers you, even if you're not always aware of it. The Buddha, in the Dhammapada, said, "Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind-wrought." If with an impure mind, a person speaks or acts, suffering follows him, like the wheel that follows the foot of the ox. And in the Anguttara Nikaya, I declare, monks, that intention is karma. Having intended, one does karma by body, speech, and intellect. It all comes down to intention. What's motivating you? What's the quality of your mind? This isn't mystical. Think practically. If you consistently criticize your colleagues, are you likely to build strong, positive relationships? Probably not. Your actions, criticism, create a reaction, strained relationships. That's karma in action, in a very ordinary way. Science offers a parallel. Newton's third law says, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It's a physical law, but it reflects the principle of karma, interconnectedness and consequence. How does karma work? Karma operates through that crucial element, sadhana, intention. Wholesome intentions, rooted in kindness, compassion, and wisdom, create positive karma. Unwholesome intentions, fueled by greed, hatred, and delusion, create negative karma. These intentions create samskaras. Think of them as imprints, or tendencies, in your consciousness. These imprints aren't physical. They're more like ingrained patterns of behavior. If you repeatedly react with anger, you strengthen the anger imprint, making it more likely you'll react with anger in the future. It becomes a habit, a deeply worn path. Let's simplify the idea of entanglement. In quantum physics, there's this strange phenomenon where two particles can become linked in a mysterious way, even when separated by huge distances. It shows that connections can exist beyond what we can easily see. Similarly, karma suggests that our actions can have long-lasting effects, even if we don't immediately see the connection. Think of it like throwing a stone into a still pond. The ripples spread out, touching everything in the pond. Your actions are like that stone, creating ripples that affect not only you, but also others, and even the wider world. The effect might not be immediately obvious, but it's there. Can you change your karma? The good news is, karma isn't fixed. You're not trapped by your past. You're always creating new karma. Every moment is a chance to plant different seeds. The past influences the present, but it doesn't completely control your future. The present moment is where your power lies. The past might have shaped you, but it doesn't define you. You always have the ability to choose, to change. Instead of feeling powerless in the face of what's called karma, we can learn to understand it better. And by understanding it, we can actively create positive change. It's not about becoming perfect overnight. Changing karma is a journey, not a destination. Don't be too hard on yourself. Start small. Every act of kindness, every positive thought matters. A simple starting point is mindfulness. Take a few moments. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Breathe naturally. Just observe your thoughts and feelings, without judging. Notice any patterns. Are you often self-critical? Do you tend to jump to conclusions? Just notice. This awareness is the key. You can't change what you're not aware of. It's like turning a big ship. It takes time and consistent effort, but it can be done. And it starts with the small, everyday choices you make. Part 2. Beyond this life. What Buddhism says about rebirth. I know the idea of past lives can be a bit of a head-scratcher. It's not something we can easily prove or disprove. When I first heard about it, I was skeptical. It sounded like something out of a fantasy novel. But the Buddhist concept of rebirth is actually quite different from what many people imagine. It's not about a fixed soul hopping from body to body. What happens when we die? Buddhism doesn't teach the existence of a permanent, unchanging soul that survives death and moves on to another life. Instead, it teaches the concept of anatta, or no self. This can be a challenging idea. It doesn't mean you don't exist. It means that what you consider you, your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions, your consciousness, are all constantly changing. They're impermanent. They're made up of 5 aggregates. These are called the 5 khandhas. Let's break that down. First, there's form, our physical body. Then there's feeling, our sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. Next is perception, how we interpret the information our senses take in. Then we have mental formations, our thoughts, intentions, volitions, the things that make us do things. Finally, there's consciousness itself, our awareness. These 5 khandhas are constantly interacting and changing, like ingredients in a constantly evolving recipe. Think of a candle flame. The flame is constantly flickering, changing, Yet we still call it a flame. It's not the same flame from one moment to the next, but there's a continuity. Similarly, the elements that make up you are constantly changing, but there's a continuous flow, a stream of cause and effect. What is rebirth then? If there's no permanent soul, what is it that's reborn? It's the continuation of this karmic flow, this stream of cause and effect. The samskaras, those imprints created by your intentions and actions, your karma, continue to influence future experiences. They shape the conditions of your next life. But karma isn't the only factor. Ignorance, or a lack of understanding of the true nature of reality, is just as important. It's like this. Karma is the engine that drives the cycle of rebirth, but ignorance is the steering wheel. Without understanding the true nature of reality, ignorance, we steer ourselves in the wrong direction, continuing the cycle. Ignorance makes us cling to things that are impermanent, leading to actions that create karma, and thus, to rebirth. Imagine a river. The water is always flowing, always changing. You can never step into the same river twice, because the water is different. Yet, it's still the same river, in a sense. There's a continuity, a flow. Rebirth is like that. The you of this life isn't the same as the you of the next life, but there's a connection, a karmic link. For example, a person who displays a natural talent for music from a very young age might have cultivated that skill in a previous life. This isn't the soul of a musician being reborn. It's a karmic tendency, a pattern, a samskara that continues to manifest. The Buddha, in the Majjhima Nikaya, describes the process of dependent origination, paticca-samuppada, a chain of 12 links that explain how rebirth occurs. It starts with ignorance, avidya, and leads to the arising of a new life. Conditioned by ignorance are the karma formations. Conditioned by karma formations is consciousness. Conditioned by consciousness is mind and body. This chain of 12 links shows a clear cause and effect process. Because of ignorance, there are volitional formations. Because of volitional formations, there is consciousness, and so on, leading to suffering and rebirth. It's like a domino effect. One piece falls, causing the next to fall, and so on. Ignorance is the first domino, setting the whole chain in motion. Think of it like information. In physics, there's a principle that information is never truly lost. It just changes form. This isn't scientific proof of rebirth, but it helps to illustrate the idea of continuity. The information of your karma, your intentions and actions, continues, even though the form, your body and mind, changes. Why rebirth matters. Understanding rebirth isn't about believing in a fairy tale. It has practical implications for how we live our lives now. It encourages us to live more responsibly, to be mindful of the long-term consequences of our actions. If you knew that your actions today would affect not only your future in this life, but also your future lives, wouldn't you be more careful about what you do, say, and think? But the ultimate goal in Buddhism isn't just to have a good rebirth. It's to be liberated from the cycle of birth and death altogether. This is nirvana, the extinguishing of suffering, the end of the cycle. Understanding rebirth helps us see the bigger picture, the long game, and motivates us to strive for liberation. Let me share a short Jataka tale. These are stories about the Buddha's previous lives. Once, the Buddha-to-be was born as a monkey king. He ruled over a large troop of monkeys who lived in a mango tree. A human king discovered the delicious mangoes and wanted them. He ordered his soldiers to kill all the monkeys. The Monkey King, seeing the danger, used his own body as a bridge across a river so his troop could escape. He sacrificed himself to save others. This act of selfless compassion, this powerful sadhana, had profound karmic consequences, shaping his future lives and ultimately leading him to Buddhahood. This story shows that, no matter the circumstances, compassion and self-sacrifice always lead to positive outcomes, even across lifetimes. These stories aren't meant to be taken literally. They're symbolic, illustrating the power of karma and the importance of ethical conduct. They remind us that our actions have consequences, and that even seemingly small acts of kindness or cruelty can have a significant impact, not just on ourselves, but on the world around us. The understanding of rebirth, therefore, is not a passive acceptance of fate, but an active engagement with the present moment. A call to live with intention and compassion. Part 3. Karma and the Multiverse. Many lives, many worlds. We've explored how karma can influence our future lives. But what if future lives aren't limited to just this universe? What if there are other universes? Let's consider the possibility of the multiverse. The multiverse is a concept that comes from science, specifically from areas like quantum physics and string theory. It's the idea that our universe, the one we can see and interact with, might not be the only one. There might be many, perhaps even an infinite number of universes, each with its own physical laws, constants, and even histories. Think of it like bubbles in a vast cosmic foam. Each bubble is a separate universe, and our universe is just one bubble among countless others. Some of these universes might be very similar to ours. Others might be radically different, with different laws of physics, different particles, maybe even different dimensions. It's a mind-boggling idea, and it's still very much a theoretical concept. But it's being seriously explored by physicists. It might surprise you to learn that the idea of multiple worlds isn't a modern invention. Long before physicists began exploring the multiverse, Buddhist scriptures were already describing countless world systems. Kakavala. These aren't just metaphorical worlds representing different states of mind. They are described as actual, physical realms. The Kakavala, often translated as world system or universe, is a key concept. It's described as a vast, disc-shaped structure with a central mountain, Mount Meru, surrounded by oceans, continents, and various realms of existence, heavens, hells, and human realms. And the scriptures say there are countless Kakavalas, stretching out in all directions. Then there's the 3,000 Great Thousand World System, Trisahasra Mahasahasra Lokadhatu. This is a hierarchical cosmological model. It starts with a single world system, Kakavala. 1,000 of these make up a small chiliocosm. 1,000 small chiliocosms make up a medium chiliocosm. And 1,000 medium chiliocosms make up a great chiliocosm. A truly vast collection of worlds. The Lalita Vistara Sutra, a Mahayana text, describes the Buddha emitting a ray of light that illuminates countless world systems, each with its own Buddha teaching the Dharma. The Avatamsaka Sutra, Flower Garland Sutra, is famous for its incredibly vast and interconnected vision of reality, with countless worlds interpenetrating each other. In the Majjhima Nikaya, The Buddha is described as seeing countless worlds, some forming, some dissolving, some empty, some full. He sees all beings, some being reborn in lower realms, some in higher realms, some experiencing suffering, some experiencing happiness. Of course, the Buddha's descriptions weren't meant to be scientific explanations. They were expressions of his profound insight into the nature of reality, using the language and cosmology of his time. While Buddhist cosmology isn't a scientific theory in the modern sense, it offers a perspective that resonates with some of the most cutting-edge ideas in physics. The point is not to say that Buddhism predicted the multiverse. The point is that both ancient Buddhist cosmology and modern physics point to a reality that's far grander and more complex than we might imagine. The Buddhist descriptions of countless worlds, while not intended as literal maps of the cosmos, reflect a deep intuition about the vastness and multiplicity of existence. They challenge our limited, anthropocentric view of the universe. So, if we combine these two ideas, karma and the multiverse, we arrive at a mind-bending possibility. Let's take a step into the realm of speculation and explore a truly fascinating question. If the multiverse is real, is it possible that our karma doesn't just affect our next life in this universe, but also somehow connects us to other universes? Could our actions have consequences that ripple across multiple realities? This is a big if. It's a question, not an answer. It's a way to explore the potential implications of both karma and the multiverse. Some theoretical physicists have explored ideas about parallel realities and how they might interact. Again, this isn't proof of anything, but it shows that the idea of interconnectedness across universes isn't entirely outside the realm of scientific inquiry. Think of it like this. If every action creates a reaction, and if there are countless universes, could those reactions extend beyond our own universe? Could the ripples of our karma spread out, not just through time, but also through other dimensions of reality? It's a truly mind-expanding idea. It suggests that our actions might have consequences that extend far beyond anything we can currently imagine. It's a reminder that we're all interconnected, not just with each other in this world, but perhaps with countless other worlds as well. Part 4. The meaning of watching. Your past lives aren't judging you, but they're here. We've been using the phrase, "Your past lives are watching you." Let's clarify what that means, and what it doesn't. It's a powerful image, but what does it really mean? Your past lives are watching you doesn't mean there's a ghostly figure from your past hovering over your shoulder, judging your every move. It's not about spirits or supernatural entities. It's not about some cosmic courtroom where your past selves are sitting in judgment. That interpretation doesn't align with Buddhist teachings. The idea of a permanent separate soul that could observe and judge you is directly contrary to the Buddhist teaching of anatta, no self. There's no unchanging entity that persists across lifetimes. So there's no past you that exists as a separate being, capable of watching and judging. Watching is a metaphor. It's a way of understanding the continuous influence of karma, the ongoing impact of the past on the present. Your past actions created some skaras, imprints or tendencies in your consciousness. And these samskaras continue to affect you. They shape your perceptions, your reactions, your habits. It's like a ripple effect. You throw a stone into a pond, and the ripples continue to spread out, long after the stone is sunk to the bottom. Your past actions are like that stone. The ripples are the continuing effects of those actions, the samskaras that shape your present experience. Imagine someone who has a crippling fear of heights, even though they've never had a bad experience with heights in this life. It's possible that this fear stems from a traumatic experience in a past life. This isn't a ghost haunting them. It's a karmic imprint, a samskara, a deeply ingrained pattern that influences their current experience. Understanding this metaphorical watching helps us live more responsibly. It reminds us that every action, every thought, every intention has consequences. It encourages us to be mindful of our choices, to cultivate positive qualities, and to avoid harmful actions. It's not about being afraid of the past. It's about learning from it. It's about recognizing the patterns, the samskaras, that are influencing us, and consciously choosing to create new, more positive patterns. It's about transforming negative karma and cultivating positive karma. The Buddha, in the Majjhima Nikaya, said, "Whatever is past, future or present, internal or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, all of the aggregates should be seen as they really are with correct wisdom thus. This is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself." This passage emphasizes the impermanent, no-self nature of all phenomena, including past experiences. It clarifies that past lives are watching doesn't mean a past self is judging, but that the effects of karma, the consequences of past actions and intentions, continue. We're interconnected, part of a vast web of cause and effect that stretches across time and perhaps even across universes. Understanding this interconnectedness, this watching, can empower us to live more intentionally, more compassionately, and more wisely. It's not about being haunted by the past. It's about being informed by it and using that knowledge to create a better future. Part 5. Living with Karma and Rebirth. Create a better future. We've explored karma, rebirth, and even the possibility of a multiverse. These are vast concepts, but they all point to a simple, practical truth. Our actions matter. And that means we have the power to shape our future. The key to transforming our karma and living a more meaningful life is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to be present, to be aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions without judgment. It's like shining a light on your inner world, allowing you to see the patterns and habits that are driving your behavior. How do you cultivate mindfulness? It starts with simple practices. You can start right now. Take a few deep breaths. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Notice any sensations in your body. Tension, relaxation, warmth, coolness. Notice your thoughts. Are they racing? Are they calm? Don't try to change anything. Just observe. This is mindfulness in action. It's not about emptying your mind. It's about paying attention to what's already there. And the more you practice, the more you'll become aware of the samskaras, those karmic imprints that are influencing you. Science is even catching up with this ancient wisdom. Studies have shown that regular mindfulness practice can actually change the structure and function of the brain. It can improve focus, reduce stress, increase emotional regulation, and even enhance compassion. Buddhist practices offer a clear path to transforming negative karma and creating positive karma. It's not about magic rituals. It's about cultivating specific qualities of mind and heart. Sila, ethics, This is about living ethically, avoiding actions that harm yourself or others. It's about cultivating kindness, honesty, generosity, and respect in all your interactions. It's the foundation of a positive life. Samadhi, concentration. This is about training your mind through meditation. Meditation helps you develop focus, clarity, and inner peace. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Pana, wisdom. This is about developing wisdom, understanding the true nature of reality, including the law of karma and the truth of no self. It's about seeing things as they really are, not as we wish they were. 4 immeasurables, Brahmaviharas. These are 4 positive qualities of mind. Loving kindness, metta, wishing happiness and well-being for all beings. Compassion, karuna, wishing for all beings to be free from suffering. Empathetic joy, mudita, rejoicing in the happiness of others. Equanimity, upekkha, maintaining balance and composure in the face of life's ups and downs. Let's say you have a tendency to get angry easily. That's a karmic pattern. Mindfulness helps you become aware of the anger as it arises. You might notice the physical sensations, a tightening in your chest, a clenching of your jaw. You might notice the thoughts. This isn't fair. They shouldn't have done that. Once you're aware of the anger, you have a choice. You can react in the usual way, fueling the anger and strengthening the negative samskara. Or, you can choose a different response. You can take a deep breath. You can walk away. You can choose to respond with kindness and understanding. This creates a new imprint, a new tendency, weakening the old pattern of anger. Ultimately, living with karma and rebirth is about living with intention. It's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about living a life of purpose, contributing to the well-being of yourself and others. The Buddha summarized his teachings in this way. Cease to do evil. Cultivate good. Clarify your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. It's simple, but profound. Stop doing things that cause harm. Do things that are beneficial. And work on cultivating a clear, compassionate mind. This is the path to transforming your karma and creating a better future, not just for yourself, but for all beings. You can't change the past, but you can shape the future. Start today. Start small. Every mindful breath, every kind word, every compassionate action makes a difference. The ripples of your actions extend further than you can imagine, across time and perhaps even across universes.